This colorful bag lists important safety rules to help your children avoid accidents that can make Halloween truly scary.
You guys are so immature. Was that your sister? I'm not sure. Get out of here!
Actually cleans your heads as it plays, so dirty heads needn't haunt you. New Polaroid video cassettes.
Welcome back to Mom and Pop Video Shop. And in the spirit of the, we need like a word that would be like Yuletide, but...
Ghoultide?
Seriously.
You're not too smart, are you? I like that in a man.
So, the Ghoultide season, as it were, we are doing a versus episode. So we've done a few of these so far. You've seen we did one horror, one action, one comedy.
Yeah.
If we're being honest, you and I are obviously going to always err on the side of horror. So being October, that's what we're doing. We are going to do a versus episode. Technically, unless I've screwed up and actually showed the cover of something to him.
I didn't see it.
Okay. He swears he didn't.
I wouldn't lie to the fine folks that come into Mom and Pop Video Shop.
He would just lie to me. The idea of this is you've just come into the store, you're looking for something, it's getting close to Halloween time, you want something to watch, you want a horror movie, you just aren't sure what to pick, so you come to the Chuckleheads wearing the gear, and we are going to help you. So, I give the floor.
No, you got to go first, because I might have a kryptonite over here for you.
Oh, okay. He probably does.
I want Joel to go first.
Okay. All right. So mine, I am doing, and back to being honest with people, for two things. One, because I rewatched it recently because for another podcast, and because there is a connection to a movie that, if you're seeing this, came out very recently. You'll know what it is the second I start yakking. So my pick for you, my friend, is 2004's Saw. Saw is as I said, 2004 film directed by James Wan. I almost said Lee Wan. It's Lee Wanell wrote it and starred in it with Carrie Elways. I had never seen anything past part one, ever.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Never. And Jay of the Dead's new horror movies, we've been covering them. So I'm up to number 4, which I actually really liked. I've been liking them all the way through 4 so far.
For me, I'll put it this way. In the private racks and stacks back at my house, I own Saws 1 through 3.
Okay.
And that kind of sums up how I feel. Not that I hate the other one, but once I got into 4...
I liked 4.
It got a little bit rinse, wash, repeat for me.
Okay.
But definitely the first 3.
Yeah, I could definitely see how this will start to get very convoluted after
the first Saw movie, I feel like, was one of those... I mean, it almost created, I think, its own subgenre.
Yeah, although we have to do the discussing on the show, on Jay's show, about that torture porn, which is, of course, the thing that always gets... I don't know that it's fair. Not the first one. Right. Definitely not the first one. And honestly, after watching the first 4, I don't know that I would call those... I mean, yes, he has traps, but the torture isn't the point. Yeah, they're upsetting, and it's disturbing and gross.
Cringeworthy.
Yeah. But I don't feel like it's just meant for its own... there is a purpose behind all of it.
Well, and especially with the first movie, there's a fantastic plot, and let's face it, probably one of the greatest twist endings of any horror film I think ever.
Oh yeah. Anybody that's watching this that knows me, I made a feature film in 1999 that thematically is similar. I just didn't have the balls to go where the original Saw goes, and that's why Saw is a classic and my movie no one's ever seen or heard of.
It's funny because it's true.
So definitely check it out, even though, again, not very Halloween feeling, but it does tie into Saw 10 and that release.
Let me ask you, Joel. Okay, from your childhood, there were a handful of what we'll call, like, I've been calling them kryptonite movies that basically scared the shit out of you and you had to wait 20, 30 some odd years to rewatch.
Yes, I know exactly what you mean.
Give me 2 of those off the top of your head.
Pieces. And actually Pieces and Sleepaway Camp.
Okay.
Because I saw them both when I was like 12 or 13 at a sleepover. And at that point, I was just starting to get heavily into horror, but I wasn't like all in, and I was a super sensitive kid, and especially Pieces. Like, I to this day haven't seen it. I've watched clips of it here and there, and every time I do, I'm like, this is, why, really, Joel? Man up, dude. Come on, suck it up, Charlie. You know what I mean? But
do you want to know what my pick is?
Oh, no.
Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs.
Pieces.
That's hilarious. I didn't know you picked that. That's hilarious. That's so great.
And I didn't know you still haven't seen it.
I said rewatch it. I've not seen that movie since I was 12 or 13 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think at this point,
I think I'll be fine.
You would be fine.
I'm sure I'll be fine.
It.
But isn't that weird? It's like I know that intellectually, but for whatever reason,
it took me 32 years to rewatch Pet Sematary. So I understand.
Which is sad because that's in my top 10 and I watch it all the time. But I will say what's funny with Pieces, the only part that bothered me, the thing that bothered me the most is the beginning.
I mean, and that's a good, we can segue into this quick, mini recommendation from yours truly. Pieces is not for the faint of heart. This is not a gateway horror movie like we've touched on.
Actually, I don't think either of these is.
No, you're right. A few videos back, we talked about, gateway horror, and eventually we will get to the gore and slasher and gore.
Yes,
and full
we are here.
We're there, folks. We are there.
Yeah.
So I was much older, though, when I saw Pieces. I definitely wasn't a kid. I remember seeing, box art, but I was probably in my 20s when I saw it for the first time.
Bluto's in it, right? Isn't from Popeye the live
Paul
action?
Smith?
Yes, the big dude from, and also he was in...
So that makes 3 movies, because the only other movies I could think of that he was in was Red Sonja.
Okay.
Remember, he plays the big guy that takes after the kid. And he was in Haunted Honeymoon. You know what? I'm going to give you, just because it's short, can I do a quick box? Because this kind of leads to something else I was going to say. So, Pieces. This bloody slasher film from director Juan Puquer Simon concerns a chainsaw-wielding madman who is roaming a college campus in search of human parts for a ghastly jigsaw puzzle. Stars Christopher George as a police lieutenant and Linda Day George as a police woman who goes undercover as a tennis instructor. Cult horror audiences will love this film that includes plenty of gore, unintentional humor, plenty of it, and of course, lots of gratuitous nudity.
Yes.
Which there's plenty of. Not for the faint of heart, not to be watched on a full stomach.
So, Pieces, Saw, I feel like both of these are strong recommendations. Neither feels like a Halloween type movie, but this is like straight up just horror. This is just like, hey, I want to see something gratuitous and over the top.
It's one of those. It's one of those. Definitely. I don't know if it was officially a video nasty. If not, it should have been. But
I would be shocked.
It's definitely one of those that there's the spooky season type movies, and then there's when you just want to go all out. If you're a true gore hound like we are, and you want to basically clear the party out,
it's time for everybody to go home.
Yeah, Pieces is the kind of movie that you want to put on and watch.
Indeed. In the comments below, please let us know whether you like Pieces or Saw, if you've never seen either of them, if you're interested in either of these.
It's really interesting. There is a bit of a connection there in terms of visceral visuals.
Yeah, actually, there was totally a coinky-dink. It'd be interesting to see if our next ones match up that way. The next one.
One of these days, I'm waiting for the day where we both pick the exact same movie.
That'd be hilarious. That will be actually pretty funny.
This is as close as we've come, I think.
Yeah. So. All right, so since we're kicking off October, and this is like right out the gate what we're showing you, one of the things we want to mention is that on October 13th, we're going to do our first official, assuming everything works out, live stream.
On a Friday?
On a Friday the 13th? Yeah.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah, so we're going to do that, and we will have a couple guests joining us.
Great.
For our main event. We hope we came up with something that's a little, hasn't been done 1,000 times before. I'm sure it's been done before.
We think you guys will dig it.
Yeah, we think you'll dig it. So be sure to join us. We'd love to have you join us during the live stream, and until next time, remember at Mom and Pop's, our love of...
The Burbs. I was thinking of chainsaws, and I thought, it was like the second chainsaw movie that popped into my head. The Burbs.
Which seems totally out of place with these two. Never stops.
Spend a quiet week at home with Tom Hanks in The Burbs. It's a comedy about what happens to an ordinary neighborhood when a very unordinary family moves in.
Neighbors from hell. Your neighbors are murdering people. We got a real problem.
I hit the gas line, I'd run! Tom Hanks. The Burbs. Bring it home on video cassette from MCA Home Video.
Man, if you've never seen it, don't watch this with your kids, but this is like pure popcorn flick. It's absolutely what back in the day you would have rented on a Friday night.
Yeah.
Especially if you were a little young, like 12 or 13. This is something that, the cynic in me as a mom and pop video shop clerk, this is absolutely what I would recommend to like a 12-year-old to watch.
See, I'd feel bad about that.
No,
I would
this
feel.
is what you
yeah,
need. Listen,
yeah, I would actually feel bad about doing that.
if your mom asks which one of those assholes at the video store rented this to you, say Joel.
Yeah, the bald guy.